news is you spent so long yesterday doing this that now you should understand it a little better. All the struggle you went through yesterday should help prepare you for today. So this was our two-way frequency table. We had two topics, looked at all the values, you wrote sentences about every number. Today you're going to do basically the same thing, except we're not going to talk about numbers, we're going to talk about percentages. So frequency of a category, such as girls who own a bicycle, is the ratio of the frequency of the category and the total frequency. So your totals should all be the same. What is the total of your project?
40.
Good, it should have been 40. If you didn't miss anyone like you shouldn't have, you should have 40. So when we're looking at a specific column, they did the relative frequency of girls who own a bicycle. So here's girls. They're only looking at the girls, and the ones that own a bicycle was 18. So 18 out of 30 would be 0.6. That would be if I asked you a specific question. I'm not doing that because you all have different questions, you all have different projects. What I am going to ask you to do, though, is to look at just the joint relative and marginal relative frequencies of your existing table. For your scratch paper that you are going to have approved today, before you leave, I want to see all of this. On the final draft that you will be turning in, I don't need to see this. So on the final draft, you will just have those. But today, to get checked off, you will have all of it. Because that's how I'm going to check, because if one of your numbers looks wrong, I need to know what the fraction was. Yes. So I'm going to give you one example of a sentence, and then I'm going to let you guys get into groups and get going on yours. So
for the mean, see how we have 1.875? We have to show how we got it. So like right on this
your project, I will have you guys write your names down. I'm trying to get a list of who will come, and then whoever actually gets interviewed, I will give you guys extra points on your projects.
So it says,
yeah,
2.5, right? Multiply by 100.
Equals 0.1. I thought it would be
36 divided by 40.
36 divided by 40 equals.
I found you have an Android. So I want, for the 0, I want you to say there are no people that have an iPhone and an Android. Good. Back to some people who are allergic to the dog. Okay, and then for this, I want you to include the 0.5. So it would be like 37.5. Yeah.
Quick question, are we supposed to do the sentences just for the percentages?
Yes, so the percentages and the fractions won't actually be on your final draft. Your final draft will just have the decimals in the table. And then your sentences are going to have just the percent. So the fractions were just to help you get the decimal.
Okay, thank you. So this is our project. I'm Joey. I'm Jesse. Marisa.
I'm Brandon.
So the mean is 6.9, the median is 7, the mode is 6, and the range is 7. The minimum is 3, the max is 10. The first quartile is 6, the third quartile is 8, the outdoor is 2, the outliers are none.
Topic 1, do you have brown eyes? Topic 2 is, do you have blue eyes? 36 people have brown eyes out of 40. 4 people have blue eyes, and 0 people in the class have brown eyes and blue eyes.
The questions asked were, do you share a room? How many rooms do you have in your house? And do you have a dresser in your room?
So our first topic was how many rooms do you have in your house? So for the mean was 7.825. We did that by adding all of them and dividing by 40. Then the median was 7, the range was 22. We found that by subtracting 25 and 3. The mode was 6, 7, and 8. And then Q1 was 6, Q3 was 8, and the IQR was 2.
The topics that we have for you are, how many pets do you have, do you own a dog, and are you allergic to animals?
Table, 23 people had from 0 to 1 dogs, 10 people had 2 to 3 dogs, 7 people had 4 to 5 dogs.
This is our histogram explaining the frequency table. So 0 to 1 was 23, 2 to 3 was 10, 4 to 5 was 7.
Conclusion for part A, most of the data is close to the left side and everything's skewed because of our outliers, but mostly everyone watched 0 to 3 movies.
I think as students working in a group helps us be more efficient. Plus, we get the collaborative brain flow going, and it's just good to get all different perspectives and get the project done.
What I find most helpful in working on a project like this is how we're able to work in groups, how long we're able to work, like the time we spent getting the project right.
Ms. Childers supports us in this project by checking our answers after we do it. And if we didn't get it right, she helped us get it right.
Some positives when we're working on a team is that we get things done quicker and everything is more organized.
This project can help with a real-world application by just getting us into getting us used to working in groups and just getting the math done and just understanding how other group mates will help you.
Some positive in working in a team is collaboration and communication. For example, this project, I feel like it helped us to communicate, and if one of us had a question, we all help each other out.
I think it would help in the real world because it helps me understand the stats and all mean, median, and mode and range. And
Ms. Childers supports us during this project because if we don't understand something, she's always there to make sure we do it right and check all of our work and to tell us we can do it.
Some positives of working in a team is that you can finish big projects much faster than you could if you're doing it alone.
Some positives in working in a team is the bonding experience and also it gets things done faster.
Okay, so this stats project is a project that I have my kids do every year for the past few years. And they learned all the material at the beginning of this year, and then we did the project at the end. So as a little review, I just did a brief couple-minute review lesson with them at the beginning of each period. I did this lesson in 3 weeks this year since we had so much extra time, or this project in 3 weeks since we had so much extra time. But I used to do it in 1 week, so I'd give them 3 days to work on the project and then 2 days to do presentations. So if this is something you want to do but you say, oh, I don't have 3 weeks, totally able to shut it into 1 solid week. Or they could even work on it at home if you wanted to keep doing lessons. So if you do it while you teach the chapter, it actually works as a nice homework assignment for them to do, unless you want to give them group time in class. They go over pretty much all the basics of stats. So they do mean, median, mode, frequency tables, they do all the different graphs. And it's just a really nice way for them to see what it takes to make a statistic. So when they hear stats in sports, or if they were to ever read a newspaper or see it posted somewhere, they now can understand, sort of, in a basic level, what it means to have a statistic. So this is just one of the projects I like because it really gives them an idea of a real-world application of math. And it's something they can all do. And it's about their classmates, so they find it more interesting, and they get to come up with questions. So they really enjoy it.